Hello, my name is Henry Roberts, and today I'll be presenting my group's project. My teammates were Ari Best and Justin Karira, and our team name was Team Fusion because our project will always be 20 years away from being done. So for our geothermal heat pump, given the diagram in the project statement, we have state 1 to state 2, which is our compressor and is where the work input occurs. We have state 2 to state 3, which is our hot water heater, and it's where heat leaves the cycle to go into the hot water for the house. We have states 3 to 4, where the forced air system is, and where our heat leaves to go into the forced air. States 4 and 5, which is our throttling process, and states 5 and 1, which is where heat enters our refrigerant from the ground. For our project, we picked refrigerant 515B. We did this because it's the most environmentally friendly of the refrigerants that were listed and because you can look up the properties in ease. For our group objective, we decided first thing that we wanted to build the most environmentally friendly project possible. For us, that meant that we wanted to make our product as cheap as possible, which meant that in our coefficient of performance equation, lowering the work input required to the minimum value possible. We did this instead of increasing the heat output into the forced air system in the water. For our TS diagram, we have states 1 to 2, and to decrease the work input required, we knew that we had to bring the two isobars and the temperatures closer together. We ended up getting the values for T1 of 8 because it had to be greater than 12 degrees, and that left a good, or less than 12 degrees, and that left a nice margin for the heat transfer. And for state 2, a temperature of 45.39 degrees Celsius, which is greater than the 40 degrees required, and again leaves a little bit of margin for the heat transfer. Getting them close together decreased our work input to a pretty good level, and from there we decided to move state 3 as close to state 2 as possible. We ended up getting a temperature for state 3 of 44 degrees Celsius, which is greater than the required 21 degrees Celsius. For states 3 to 4, we didn't do much optimizing, but we got that the temperature value for state 4 would be 24 degrees Celsius, which is greater than the 21 degrees Celsius required for the forced air system. State 5, again, we didn't do much optimizing, but we ended up getting a temperature of 8 degrees, the same as state 1, which was less than 12 degrees Celsius, and again, leaves a nice margin. For our project, since we decided to decrease work net as much as possible, that also meant decreasing the mass flow rate as much as possible. That meant getting those two as close together as possible, and the same for those two. We ended up getting values of 7.02 for our coefficient of performance, 1.738 kilowatts for our work required, an MDOT of 0.07187 kilograms per second, which I was surprised we could even get it that low, and a heat output to the hot water heater of 0.0985 kilowatts. To summarize our project in 7 words, we built the world's worst water heater. To heat 36 gallons of water from 20 to 40 degrees Celsius, it takes 32 hours and 21 minutes, which I don't think anyone would be okay with having a water heater that takes more than a day to heat up their shower, their bath, whatever they're doing. But for us, it meant we got to build the most efficient possible system, still deliver the 12.3 kilowatts of heat to the forced air system, and reduce our work input to a pretty incredibly low level. Having the mass flow rate we decided of 0.07187 kilograms per second meant that the velocity inside of the pipes is 2.226 meters per second, which seems totally manageable for an underground heat pump system. In summary, I think we did a pretty good job. Our desired outcome of lowering the work required, we absolutely succeeded on. Our coefficient of performance was very respectable, and we had a pretty great time doing it. Thank you for watching our presentation. A special thank you to Eric Amar for filming the video, and to Justin Karira for writing our script. Have an amazing day.